兄弟们好，这是 EU 总决赛第4场结束的总积分榜。在前2天我做了一个视频，是半决赛第6场来介绍欧洲决赛队伍。当时我就说了，我认定了2支毛子的枪男队伍，确实也是我比较看好的队伍。当时我觉得的是 Fallen LGBT、毛子前职业也就是 PRI， 还有 NBA 这几支队伍实力比较强，这4支队伍是有可能晋级烽火世界赛决赛的。那么欧洲总决赛结束是2支毛子战队晋级世界赛，他们分别是 Fallen 和 NBA。其实我是挺看好法国队伍的，但是他们的战术实在是太烂了，第2局就拿砖了，但是后面打的实在是太求稳了。
Well, everybody else restabilizes, but we got our eyes here on the mantle brick because while that's all been happening, Paris says, okay, we might be at the top of the leaderboard, but we won't be for long if we let this team get the brick. So we're going to go for a steal here down on the low side while we're trying to pressure with Kaiser on the high ground. The problem is it's on the other side of that shipping container, and there's a pretty good chance that Durance has an angle looking over the top of it. Nice shots from Kaiser to open things up. Sees the other one on the far side. We trade out 1, trade out 2. Zap goes huge, taking down 2 players from Paris. Almost wins the 1v3. Les Durance, 9 seconds on the clock. Les Durance down to 1 player.
As long as 1 player is alive while it's decoded, we are good and well. And there you go. Your first Mandel brick has been decoded.
法国队成功带出去第1块砖，那么第4场比赛由 Fallen 成功拿砖。
But here we go. Mantle Brick Addiction gonna go for this steal again. They smoke the point. Fallen does have an angle from the doorway, and you've in trouble. No. A well-placed incendiary is gonna burn him down, and they didn't get the steal, and that's actually a full. That is extremely fortunate if you're Fallen, using all of your resources to protect this one. Now, Mantle Brick Addiction does steal it back. It's gonna reset to 2.5. It's gonna go down 30 seconds every time, and Fallen wiping Mantle Brick Addiction. They may have the decode for now, but a trading of blows goes to the side of Fallen as No Game No Life comes in for the third party. Unfortunately, there isn't really a third party to be had. There's just 4 parties now with YJK getting into it. This is a wild fight.
It's just going to keep on going back and forth like this. YJK, of course, you've got your Luna, you've got your detection arrows, so you can find that information, but we're just lobbing these frag grenades straight over towards YJK, and we're waiting for the cooldown on our incendiaries to be back up and available to use. And No Game No Life, they really can't get into this corridor towards the decoding station until we see maybe YJK dealt with. But as soon as this happens, this is allowing Fallen to kind of just back off into the building, maybe hit a regain before they decide to come on out. Because right now, Mandel Brick Addicts are the one that are going to basically be waiting for the decoding. But they're down. They're out of this lobby, and it doesn't matter. It would not count if they were able to finish decoding it. So someone has to steal it back.
Yeah, somebody's got to steal it back, or it's off the map and no one will get it. It's actually a really good shout. No Game, No Life. They may be new to this format. They're actually the only team that is new to this format. They qualified through a different format, but they're coming in and getting into the mix. They've actually made it through the smoke for the steal. Someone will get this brick most likely. I don't know if it'll be No Game, No Life or one of these other teams, but YJK trying to get into the mix, trying to play it more aggressive. They play up near the decoding station now. Fallen doesn't have an angle to overlook on this because they're getting held out this door by No Game, No Life. Unfortunately, it looks like No Game, No Life. They've lost the player. We could see a swing here. But a nice hold so far.
Well, you see a steal right there from YJK. Set the timer to 1 minute and 30. And what they've done is they've moved on up. And they are just playing for No Game, No Life. If it's a 3v2 in this, you just have to keep tabs on making sure Fallen isn't going to jump out of the building. And look at how quickly they dealt with NGNL. Brilliantly done by them. But now, next matter of business, Fallen.
No Game, No Life, unfortunately out of this lobby, and unfortunately Fallen comes in to play cleanup. Third party galore. Fallen yet again with another team wipe. A massive moment for them as they steal back the brick, and all of the sudden this lobby went from full to empty. Fallen all alone.
法国队伍飞升走了，毛子队伍 Fallen 拿下第4局的砖。第4场打完就是这样了，那么开始上演毛子队伍 NBA 的逆袭之战。 先是第5场拿下1砖。
Oh, but Mandel Brick addiction. Not only were they reaping scrims, they were one of the biggest threats coming into this, right? We thought that was going to be the case, but the first 4 matches really haven't gone their way. Immediately after picking up that Mandel Brick, everything gets sent out, and look at that angle. We are seeing some pokes coming on in, but you know what? We get on out, we start our objective, we need to hit the decoding station to set up.
It's showing in our kill feed that Stickinson was wiped by the boss. I think the auto tank just came in and cleaned him up, or maybe the sniper cleaned him up. I do think the kill will technically go towards Mandel Brick Addiction, as they had set up a better angle. I wonder, we didn't see the first part of that fight. I wonder if Perry maybe had set up a trap again where they were split, and they were able to just find it. Here's the other decoding station, though. This is the other one that, again, Space City, both of the decoding stations are so interesting because you basically can't camp them. There's not an angle you can hold that just stares at them without being out in the open. And so Mandel Brick Addiction, they plant it, and then they're going to run upstairs in this building and play from high ground to potentially get some information on teams trying to address this position from the outside. They're going to be able to look down on this, get some info. Perry, again, down to 2.
Quite tough, but we're about to hit that 3 minutes. That's all right, though. YJK, they're taking up that same position that we saw Legérance de la Teste do that in match number 4. The only difference here is YJK doesn't have a Mandelbreck, and LGDT did. Fallen, kind of rotating there through the printing room, working their way down. But the real issue is between Perry and Mandel Brick Addictions. These are the 2 teams that are going to need to contend. They need a decode successfully. But who is going to kind of open that up initially? Because if you give them too much time to focus and be able to scout, you can use a lot of that bulletproof glass and those angles to make that happen. But oh my God, look, let me just tell you, that auto tank is doing work on Perry.
Yeah, what is happening? Perry in an utter blender as Starbaxter goes down. No problem. Starbaxter wasn't the player that got knocked earlier. Or full knocked into yellow timer, so should be able to get him back up, no problem. Should have a full team of 3. Oh, wait, no, maybe he also went full down. Wait, we've lost Starbaxter. Yeah, that's an X, not a plus, which means Starbaxter is not getting back into this lobby. Oh, no. Just a brutal map for them. They haven't been getting anything going since our very first map of the day. That's so unfortunate.
It is a Mandel Brick curse for them. All of the lobbies they've done well in were the airdrops. From here on out, it has just been tough. So Stickinson here, they're just kind of trying to make way, deal with some of those map fatals. But as long as they stay away from the tanks, they're fine, right?
Yeah, well, I certainly would. But they're going to play the high ground here. Mandel Brick Addiction, perfect setup on the inside here. You're going to see Stickinson get cut down if he's not careful. He knows Skydy's on the other side, but he hasn't peeked left yet. We've got one member of Mandel Brick Addiction holding this cross. Here we go. Skydy's got the front angle. It's Yuval with the off angle. If they push out, he's going to try to bait them here. Yuval should pick up a 1v2, and Perry will be full wipe. Now, it looks like some shots maybe were fired from Yuval. They might have spotted him. I'd love to see his perspective. Oh, just kidding. Bye-bye. Didn't spot him. Yuval with the 2-piece. Yuval with another team wipe. Perry out of this lobby.
And less than a minute to go before they lock it in with that decode and put themselves on the board with Legérance de la Teste and Fallen, thus making that match number 6 one of the craziest games that we will get to wear to send ourselves to the Delta Force Invitational in China, right? We are just getting that much closer. And I don't think one of our teams, both of our teams that have Mandel Bricks are going to do anything about this here today.
Now, I thought Yuval was just proned out on the ground. We learned something new today. I know you guys learned some stuff in the semifinals, some crazy jump spots. I've never seen that one. The YY ladder stall. Basically, at the top of the ladder, play the lip like that. That's insane. By the way, 10 seconds for Mandel Brick Addiction. Nobody can get here in time. It's a freebie. A great call out, and you can see No Game No Life is sprinting towards the objective. It's just too late. Mandel Brick Addiction. Tiff, you called it perfectly. You asked them to step up. You said, we've been waiting for you. What's going on? And they said, how about now, folks? How now, Brown Cow? We've got it.
第5场打完 ，NBA 成功拿下1砖，法国队伍第4、5场梦游，只会因人抢经济了。 完全没有之前半决赛的锐气。实际上这回第4名 Perry 还是有机会的，拿专青图可以逆袭，但是确实难度很大。那么让我们进入最后决战。
One game of Delta Force could dictate whether you get a life-changing opportunity or have to watch from the sidelines and try again next year. Quick look at the spawns, though. Ledgerants, left side of your map, playing around Dormitory with YJK, a top slaying team today. You gotta watch out for that squad, absolutely. Gonna play nice and slow to start. On the right-hand side, though, no game, no life. Nothing to lose either. They're gonna come swinging in and immediately see Fallen. Notice that they're there and potentially either play for this fight or just try to get to Central Command. I'm not sure exactly what they want to do, but plenty of time still left on the clock.
Dare I say, again, very nervous at what is happening and what is at stake here. NL has to play to the craziest level of perfection, right? Craziest level.
Yeah, perfection is absolutely needed for these teams. You can see Fallen is playing nice and slow here on the northeastern side of the map. They've absolutely spotted no game, no life. Make sure they don't give away a nice, powerful position on the northern side of the assembly room.
Ooh, okay. I imagine this match is going to go really, really slow. And if this is what they're going to do, right? They're going to sit here, they're going to focus on up, and just play for any engagements. But it's not slow over here. Yaku, the hero of match number 5 for YJK, is going to be the first one to fall here, and it's going to open the door for LGDT to get absolutely mixy. So they just keep on with the angles here. It's going to be Nox and Zap kind of throwing down, but guess who goes down in the process? Zap gets picked on up. The trade's coming on through. I'm scared for this. A 2v1. And if I'm the last member of YJK, you cannot go down here. You have to back on up. Try for the preserve.
A huge take from them. Be able to wipe 2 members of YJK. This time, a different solo gonna have to go insane to keep their dreams alive on this map. They've had a couple great rounds, but they haven't had a round big enough to make a huge difference on the leaderboard. Jack gonna peek the angle and wins the gunfight. Down goes Vlad. It's gonna be a 2v1 now as he does get the full as well.
The enemy got the Mandel brick. Find and stop them.
Mandelbrick in hand, and look who picks it up. They understand immediately that they have to be the ones that get the decode. If they want to go to land, this is the only chance that they have.
And they're going to immediately throw it into a decoding station. This time, and look, I am not a naysayer, all right? I am not one that talks bad about teams. We'll get to it in a moment because there's a huge fight on hands right now. No game, no life out of here. YJK also out of here. Perry turning the tides in their favor. Finally, it's about dang time. 4 teams on the map. We will not be seeing no game, no life on land. We will not be seeing YJK on land. Down to 4 teams. And Tiff, to finish my point, I'm not a naysayer, but for some reason, Mandelbrick Addiction chose the spot that they lost at, not the spot that they won at just a moment ago. But Mandelbrick Addiction will win this tournament if no one contests them in the middle of the map.
They're going to play it to perfection on the time. You can see that Legerons and Lattes, who had that spawn over towards Dormitory Building, are going to be lurking around the west gate. That's going to be the closest opportunity for them to get over towards the centrifuge area. We do have that kind of outer hallway, but look at how they've situated. They're not going to play from the interior of the building. You do have Skydee that's going to have that angle on the outside. This is a very different setup than how we saw Fallen go ahead and guard this back in match number 4. Perry, though, fresh off that first initial engagement, are going to be sprinting, looking for an opportunity. But when you have Skydie holding this angle, how many times have we seen players kind of thread through the underneath of the truck to make sure that no one can push from there?
A huge opportunity. There was plenty of time once you start to decode. Everybody gets a flag, by the way, that a team that already has a mana brick is the one decoding it. Match point team, if you will. So everybody knows it's one of the 3 squads, and already Mana Brick Addiction has found an angle onto Stickinson, who gets punished. Only into red timer, but right now, every piece of resource they have getting chucked out. Bolito almost out, but is able to stay on his feet for now. Starbaxter and Co are just holding this angle to make sure we don't get thirsted. We'll go for the revive when it's safe. This is a clutch or kick moment for Paris. One of the only teams left on the map that doesn't... Actually, the only team left on the map that doesn't have a mana brick.
Oh, I don't think we're moving quick enough, Goj. I'm not gonna lie. I know we're being cautious here. I know we're trying to kind of suss out all the different players and where they are. And if we're doing it with a D-Wolf, Byron, and Nox, so be it. It has to be Nox. They have to be your hero. That silent assault. The whirlwind disc coming on through, and LGDT working their way up. Prior to this, we had Skydie that was holding the angle. He went ahead, retreated into the building, similar to the playstyle we saw Fallen recreate in match number 4. They're not going to fall for the trick. But with just under a minute left, they know if they want to truly advance on, that they have to be the ones to hit the decode.
Gotta do it. Skydie was holding the angle. He gets smoked out of his brains, out of his shorts. So he has to back up. Zap going for it. Now Skydie's going to repeat this. Bolito's holding the other angle. Legirance gets punished for it, but Perry comes to play the third party to pick up a double. Down go 1 member of Mana Brick Addiction. Down go 2 members of Legirance. Down to a solo. Perry trying to go for the trade. Mana Brick Addiction's going to win it right here if somebody doesn't make a move. Stickinson alive. Has an off angle. 8 isn't able to get the trade. There's another one in the corner. Finally gets one, but it gets turned and burned. Turned and burned. Mana Brick Addiction. Somehow, some way, they take down all of Perry. They don't shoot first, but they shoot last. And they are going to win this competition by capturing the second Mana Brick. Unbelievable. They know they won. Now it's about punishing their opponents.
It's not even about punishment here. The tough part for Legirance and Latesse, now that Mana Brick Addiction has decoded, they guarantee that slot to China, yes, but then you have Fallen and Legirance and Latesse that are going to contend based on that total loot value because they each have a Mana Brick. And Legirance and Latesse only has 1 player currently upstanding, and he is in the sightline of Fallen.
Are you kidding me? Nox is out of here. Fallen lands the knockdown. Fallen lands the equipment. And Nox is out of this lobby. Legirance gone, dead, with 1 Mana Brick and technically lower in total assets than their opponents. Fallen is still on the map, and Fallen looting means we think we know who is making land. We think we know it's Mana Brick Addiction and Fallen. The only thing that could happen here, the only reason I'm holding my breath, is that if Mana Brick Addiction with 2 players wipes Fallen, and Fallen loses more assets than Legirance lost, we could see Legirance still technically make land. It is that close. Fallen doesn't know that. They don't know the scores. There's a delay. There's no way to learn that information. They just got to play their life, and they still got to clutch or kick. Mana Brick Addiction, they've already done it. Right now, Mana Brick Addiction, they just want to get the kills because why not? There is nothing at stake for them besides wiping their opponents. And right now, they're giving the signal for Fallen to come in and make a play. We're going for the revive, and Fallen's going to come in for the wipe.
This is going to be a big deal if they can make this happen. Nice shots there, but you're going to give up your information. It's Buldo who falls to Flarich. everything that I learned about Fallen last week during the regional semifinals, that they are very scary to fight, and they are proving just how easily they can break down one of the most formidable teams that we've been talking about, who have been showing out in the world scrims. And Fallen, the way they just took them down with ease is insane.
欧洲决赛打完，法国队伍前期占尽优势，最后的球稳给自己带走了。哥们打决赛，给我们国旗都拿出来了。可惜这个战术真的太拉了，也不得不说，毛子队伍在坚韧这一块确实也做到了。那么让我们看一下后面的采访，从第4局的倒数第一，连下2砖夺冠，戏剧性拉满。
I'm ready.
Well, I'm extremely excited for the next piece, but before we close, we've got Yuval from Mandel Brick Addiction. Just won the whole competition. Yuval, my man, welcome to the booth. How are you feeling? You just won it all.
Hi guys, I feel very happy.
I can only imagine, man. You crushed it. Talk to me about that final fight, the final moment on the decoding station, winning that 1v2.
I just saw the smoke and understood it's time to take all in my hands and just go and shoot. That's all what happens.
You were shooting straight, Tev. He was shooting straight.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious though. Now you're going to LAN. You get to compete on the global stage in China for $500,000. How are you going to prepare with your team to compete at that stage?
I think we did a lot and prepared very well for these finals, and we will just play and practice our strategies and communication with each other. I think we did it already well.
Yeah, I mean, your preparation for this competition paid off. I was told, I asked the Scrims Discord, I said, who's winning the most Scrims? They said it was you, and apparently they were right because you're able to do it again. Final question from me, Yuval, is pretty simple. I think, talk to me about the number one thing, a key to success, the number one thing that made your team successful today in the competition.
Just good communication with each other and no fear. Just do it.
No fear, just do it. I love it. Communication, absolutely key. Yuval, thank you so much. Thanks for popping in with us. It's great to hear from you. I'd like to give you the floor. Shout out your team, your community. Feel free to speak in your native language as well for some quick shout outs before we close this thing out.
Да, спасибо всем, кто болел. Скид сделал очень много до нашей победы и был тоже красавчик. Будем стараться дальше. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Yuval. You're the man. Crazy clutch moments, ice in the veins, and congratulations on a huge, huge win. Appreciate you popping in.
Thank you very much.
Insane fighting prowess they had from the semis, right? Like 15, and they're just getting...
Pretty good chance. Durance has an angle looking over the top of it. Nice shot. Straight out two. Zap goes huge, taking down two players from Perry.
Those Mandel bricks.
Unbelievable. We've got more fights happening right now. Saniva grappling people in. To wipe this team that just got the Mandel brick.
Well, imagine you get the Mandel brick decoded, and next thing you know, you can extract...
He's crushing it right now with a chance for 1v3, having to hold on or run away. Either way, you're not going to run away from a Saniva. Down you go, wiped out of this. Unfortunately, isn't able to get both. Nice trade from the off-angle Stickinson. Perfect setup. Their tournaments won those tournaments. Here's a quick look at another fight, though. Fallen found an angle, and they found a knock today. Able to find 2 kills, looking for the third. There's the top angle flip. This is what Fallen wanted. We called it. It's exactly what they wanted to play from. Right now, Nox about to place. Are you kidding me? There's no way to the lobby if they win this 2v1.
Something about Perry and a Mandel brick round just cannot...
No game, no life, unfortunately, out of this lobby. And unfortunately, Fallen comes in to play cleanup, though. Maybe just tag the wall behind them. They've got a lot.
Luna action. We're going to send some of their Volt arrows, some shoulder peeks. They're connecting, but it's peak together. Give you the power of the numbers. Going through.
We'll be playing 6 and 6 only today. There will not be another round after it. And these finals.
That's over there towards the right, taking angles. But YJ connects. Look at that, just whittling on down. Can he make this one go through? No, for any engagement. But
they haven't had a round big enough to make a huge difference on the leaderboard. Jack gonna peek the angle and win.
Right? I am not one that talks bad about teams. We'll get to it in a moment because there's a huge fight on hand.
Out of his shorts. So he has to back up. Zap going for it now. Scotty's gonna repeat this bleeder. Metabrick Addiction's gonna win it right here if somebody doesn't make a move. Stickinson alive, has an off angle, isn't able to get the trade. There's another one in the corner. Finally gets one, but it gets turned and burned. And they are going to win this competition by capturing the second Mantle Brick. Unbelievable. They know they